Hello, this is wmpyr. This is a video response to the horrific high school shooting that recently happened in Florida. So first, let me just say, uh, really sorry to hear about this terrible news to the family of the victims over there, and I'm sending out my prayers. And man, this really sucks. So that's why I'm making this video to say something that I feel like is kind of like important and matters. Um, so basically, this video is about gun control. And yeah, when we talk about gun control, people want to know right away, are you for or against gun control? And I'm kind of like, don't put me in those labels, because to me, those are labels. So if I have the same opinion as you, then we're buddy buddy, we're team. And if I don't, then we're against each other and we're gonna argue. And I feel like that's doesn't make sense. What I'm interested in is intelligence. So intelligence means we're not arguing and yelling and screaming at each other, because there's no intelligence there. So, you know, we want to make sense, whether you're on the same opinion as me or we don't share the same opinion. It doesn't matter, because you could be on the same team, the same opinion as me, and if you don't make sense, that's a problem. So regardless, that doesn't matter whether we have the same opinion or not. We should be able to make sense together and figure things out. That's what's important. So dividing the population into for it or against it, to me, that's not the way to go. We need to come together and figure it out together and find a good solution, because there's smart people on both sides. So, and there's dumb people on both sides. So the dumb parts need to be corrected, and the good ideas need to be brought together from both sides. So, to me, that's a no-brainer. So, if you, first off, oftentimes gun control compared to Japan. Japan is one of those countries that's very successful at it. But I just want to say that the US is a completely different situation. So comparing it does no good. Because if we ban guns from the US, it's not a magical reset button. It doesn't make the guns disappear, Uh, the guns will still be there. And the criminals will still have them. So it's in Japan, they've never had guns. So it's not the same, to go to a country where they always had guns and then try to take away from it is a totally different situation from a country that has never had guns. So just want to make that clear, okay? So please stop making that comparison. It's just two different countries, very different. As far as like when you ban guns, okay, the general idea of that is that you're saying that the population is too stupid to handle guns maturely, all right? And that may be true. I don't know if that's true or not. I do know that it sucks for me because, if I feel like I don't handle guns stupidly, I'm not saying I'm awesome at them, but I will properly handle them, and you're not going to see me go out and gun people down, or I'm going to be a responsible owner. So that sucks for me. That's going to be, I'm not going to have that choice just because there's some really dumb people that's going to ruin it for the respectful people, the respectful, intelligent people. That sucks. But okay, so and if you ban it altogether, right? And you say that the population's too stupid, do you really want to live in that society where it's like you guys don't have guns, so it's cool, but if you had them, you would kill each other because you guys are way too dumb, I don't want to live in that society, whether they have guns or not. Of course, I'd rather not live in it when they do have guns, of course. But even if they didn't have guns, I still wouldn't want to live there. So what I'm saying is I believe in educating the people. So I think we should educate the people on how to properly handle firearms? What is the proper accepted behavior and all this kind of stuff? That needs to be taught. I believe that even within responsible firearm owners, there's a lot of people walking out there that kind of have the attitude of, if you mess with me, I'm going to shoot you dead. I believe, and these are very, very, law-abiding citizens. They just haven't been pushed that far, or, they've been a little bit, scared to do that or whatever, but they have that mentality, and it's like, dude, what I teach with knife self-defense, using the knife for self-defense, okay, is that someone calls me names, says all kinds of stuff about my mom or whatever, the knife doesn't come out. They could punch me in the face, the knife doesn't come out. I take a beating, the knife doesn't come out. It only comes out when my life is threatened, 100%. I feel like I'm going to die, or there is a active shooter out there and he's taking people out, okay? Unless it's like that, or I'm in a riot situation, something like that, it doesn't come out, So I feel like that kind of thing, which to me is common sense, is not taught. And that's another thing. The reason why I'm on YouTube teaching knife stuff, right, is because I believe in not withholding information. Because, yeah, I could withhold information, but then there's good people out there and bad people out there, and everybody's not going to have that information. But if I teach properly how to handle a knife, how to be professional with it, what is the proper attitude, how to properly train with it, that's what I try to do on my YouTube channel, and I think that's important. So I believe the same with firearms. We need to start with that. We need to, it can't just be so easy to get a firearm. We need to teach the proper mentality and all that kind of stuff, okay? That is important. It's overlooked many times. This is BS, whatever. I do feel that it is important, okay? Number two, for the people that are criminals, and they are caught with a firearm, I think that law needs to be a lot harsher, to the point where they're like, man, it's just not worth it. It ain't worth it. You gotta be able to sink into their minds, where they're like, I'm not gonna do this, So that's important. But now we also have another group where people who don't have a criminal record, people who don't have a criminal record, and if they have psychological problems, or if they have made red flags, right? Like they went around telling people or putting notices on Facebook or whatever. These, now we know, cannot be ignored. Okay, this is serious, serious problems here. So those red flags cannot be ignored. We need to do something about it legally, not just, send the kid to the counselor and then whatever, that's not good enough, obviously. So these cries for helps or just red flags need to be taken much, much, much more seriously with legal action. So I think those are the two areas: criminals, and then those that don't have a criminal record, and then this, I'm thinking, will help with proper behavior, So gun control doesn't necessarily mean, gun completely banishment, it means control, So what can we do to decrease the number of these kinds of violent cases, and like I said, you got to educate the public. And if you're walking around with a firearm thinking you're a bad mofo and you're making threats and don't mess with me and this kind of stuff, then man, that's a lot of violations right there. Legally, you should be severely punished for that, you know, and a proper firearm owner who has it for home defense, has it because they like hunting, won't act that way. They shouldn't act that way, you know. So in that case, same with knife. I don't have a problem with that at all. I don't feel threatened by the law or by my country in any way because I don't act that way, you know, and I don't dare act that way. And if I were to, I would want it taken away from me so I don't do something stupid and accidentally, you know, stab someone for egotistical reasons or you know, something horrendous like that, you know. So yeah, I do feel that we can come to a very intelligent, logical solution here, something that makes sense, you know, and that both sides can agree on. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching and take care, folks.